So we're going to use Adobe Clip, which is that little fella there. It's available for Android and iOS devices. Now this is a demonstration on using it on Android because iOS devices typically have access to iMovie for free, which is a pretty good product already. So we're just going to make sure all of us Android people are not missing out. So you start in My Projects and you tap on the plus button to get a choice of where you start. So you can either pull video from the device or go straight to the camera and record video and or take photos. Or if you have an Adobe Creative Cloud account or an Adobe Lightroom account or a Dropbox, Google Photos or Google Drive account, you can pull media out there as well. So I've got a pile of videos I recorded earlier today on my device, so I'm just going to select that and it will take me off to here, and under camera you can see all of the videos, and the little number in the corner tells you how long each clip is, and the ones that don't have a number there are photos. So you can select as few or as many as you want. So let's say we choose that one and that one and that one. I'm just randomly selecting these and that one. So you can see down the bottom it says done for. You could have as many as you want. Choose done. And then you have two choices. You can either automatically create a video for you, and it just joins all the files together, lets you choose the soundtrack and set the pace and the music and the order. And that's fine if you just want to play a couple of clips, you don't want to do any editing or modifying to it, and if you don't have a voiceover you want to worry about, you just want music on there. Good for making little clips with pictures, for example, like slideshow clips. But we're going to use the freeform option because that allows us to do a bit of manual editing and choose how we want things run. So it starts out with the display at the top and then your videos at the bottom. And you can move them around by just clicking and dragging, or touching and dragging, I should say. So if you want to reorder the sequence, you got to touch it and then move it across. That's fine. You can preview the video by pushing the play button, and it will automatically start playing them as we move along to each new clip. And we can speed that up by zipping through there. Okay, so we're at the editing stage now. I don't know if you can see, I've actually set, one of the nice little things about this is I have set it up. It's one of the settings in here that allows you to put a watermark on. And so I've chosen my watermark here, which automatically appears in the top of the video. So each slide, if we move back, each segment of video automatically has the watermark there, which is quite nice. And if you want, you can put a bigger file in there so that it takes up a little bit more space. At this stage, I haven't figured out how to move it around to a different location, but at least it's there. That's a good start. The other thing in looking at the interface, obviously you've got the display here where you can see the video and you've got the play button there, obviously. But down here, this is the timeline, and all of this stuff you see here is the audio file. So it sort of gives you an idea. If we go back to this one, for example, you can see there's practically nothing there. There's very little showing up, so it means there was very little audio in that, just a little bit of background noise. Whereas if we move to this one, I was talking for most of this, so there's plenty of audio. So that can be useful sometimes in determining when to trim a segment out of the video. So maybe I didn't start talking till here, for example. So what I can do is I can see that the audio is pretty well empty or low there. I can grab the little handle there and drag it across with my finger and it'll go to there, and that's called trimming. And that just chops out or crops out that bit, so you can crop out the bits you don't want. We move to the next one, and let's have a look at the last one. So this one's a fairly short one, but as you can see, we can just drag these little things across and trim the file. Okay, so it's now only 2 seconds when originally at full length it was a 10-second clip. So that's how you actually do the editing. So if we go back to the beginning And let's just push play. And then we've transitioned into the second one, and you'll probably, hopefully be able to hear me speaking here as well. And if I decide that I want to trim some of this out, I can just touch there to pause it. Maybe I'll trim off that section and perhaps this section. And it's now cut down the length of the clip. And you can actually grab the little slider and just move it across if you like. And as you can see, when we get to there, we get to the end of the clip and then move on. So that in and of itself is pretty easy. You just add your video clips. If we want to add in a photo just to add to it, let's have a look at what have I got here. Say an image of some description. Let's just say I want to use that image. And it goes into the bin, I guess you can call it, at the bottom. So you can add that in. And if we want to drag it, let's say we want to move that to the front of the video. So the normal default when you add a photo seems to be 3 seconds. You see the 03 there. But if we want that to last longer, we can actually stretch that out and pull it all the way up and go all the way up to 10 seconds. So then when it starts, it's just what it does, it automatically just zooms in on the photo. I think that's a setting you can turn off. But it runs for 10 seconds and then it will transition through to the next clip and then transition again through to the shorter. Remember, we trimmed that clip down, and if we speed that up and keep it going, and it transitions through to the next one, and let's say we want to trim that as well. You can pretty well do a lot of this on the fly, which is quite cool. So while you can't do a lot of overly sophisticated stuff with this, it is a free app after all, and if you were to go out and buy the full-blown software tool for PC or for Mac, you know, it's a sophisticated piece of software, not very easy to use. You might look at doing that down the track. What this does is it gives you a tool in your phone that makes it really easy to join together some video clips, trim out a little bit of stuff that you don't like, and put it all together and then export it into a video, and you can just upload it straight to YouTube if you want. So let's just have a look. We have some options in the clip as well. So if we touch that little shutter at the top there, so you can increase or decrease the exposure of the clip if you want. Same for highlights. You can basically see what changing on the fly. And shadows, down or up. And then we can go across, and we can do that on any of the clips. So we can go across to the levels here. So if we want to duplicate a clip for some reason, we can. If we want to split, we can have the playhead in there and say, okay, now why would you want to do that? I'll show you in a minute. But if we want to do it, let's just, we position the playhead and we push that button and it creates a split clip. Now, one of the reasons to doing this is if you've got let's say this clip here, it's got 23 seconds of content, there might be a section in here that you want to crop out completely. So, you know, maybe I fluffed my lines, or there was a loud explosion behind me with a, I don't know, a concrete truck hitting a wall or something stupid, and I want to crop that out. So you can't, just by doing this, you can't crop that out. But what you could do is, let's say I want to split it there. We go to, oops, wrong one, sorry. And the playhead is positioned. I'll do split there. And what I could do is then say, okay, I'll now add in the second playhead position and I will split there. And so now we have 3 clips, and we decided this 4-section clip here is the bit we don't want. So we just select that, and I don't know, how do we get rid of it? I suppose. Ah, there we go. Not viewing my things. So we want to delete that clip. So that's how you actually edit within clips. And that's quite handy. I didn't actually realize I had that until I started mucking around it just 10 minutes ago. So nice little added extra. If we go up, turn image into a story card, you can add notes to shoot against and replace the footage. Yeah, that might be worthwhile, might not be. You can have a play with that one. But if we go back here and go up to the top, So we can, for example, add soundtracks. So Adobe provides, I think it's about 10 or 15 different clips, just audio, as you can probably hear in the background if it's playing. So if you wanted to just have an audio background, you can do that. If you've got your own content or audio here that you want to use, then go for that. And that could include a narration track as well. One thing I will say, do not illegally use someone's music you don't have the rights to. So what they provide here, there's the rights provided, but don't download your favorite top 40 song and put it in there, because that is illegal. Okay, so this next tab allows you to add some default looks to the clip. So you can see here there's lots of different examples. So if you want it to look, I don't know, steel, whatever that is, and it will automatically apply that template or that theme to the clip. It's got 30 there. You can have your own library or build up your own library. So that's quite a nice feature. You wouldn't normally expect to get that in something like a free app. The next one is the video settings. So you can do things like turn on or off, fade in from black and fade out to black, crossfade between clips. Now, photo motion, when we imported photos, remember it did a slow zoom into it. If you want to turn it off, you can just do that and you don't have to worry about it. I still haven't figured out what video bumper is, so I'm not worried about it. The watermark option, you can turn that on or off if you want. And I want to go back and find... Okay, so it said there to get rid of to change the watermark, you need to go to preferences. So you go back to the home screen, click on that and choose preferences. And this is where you would add your watermark. So I've already got the watermark there. We can select a different one. We can turn it on or off here if we want, or we can turn it on and off in the individual clip. You can set the resolution. Normally, I would be recommending go with 1080p, which is your full high definition video. But if you want to, you could drop it back to 720p. You can connect up your Dropbox account, your Google Drive and Photos account, which I've already done, so I can actually go into there and grab those extra files. So, back to the project. So let's say for the sake of the argument that I'm happy with it. We'll just do a quick test play. Yep, that's fine. So now I want to actually save the video. So you can do, what I would suggest you do while you're getting used to it is click save to gallery first so that it saves it to your phone. And then once you get reasonably good at it, you might want to look at sharing it on YouTube. So I'm just going to go with that and it will go off and do its thing automatically. And it could take a little while, and if you've got an older phone that's a bit slow, it may take 5 or 10 or 15 minutes potentially to render the video. I've got a pretty current phone, so it's not too slow. The longer the video, the bigger the file. That's the bottom line. So, you know, if you've got 20 minutes worth of content there, it's going to take a hell of a lot of time to do all of this. We've only got, I think it's a minute or a minute and a half total here. So we'll just let it chug away. Bottom line with this app, although it's not the same as a full-blown desktop PC or Mac video editing app, number one, it's free. Number two, it's actually pretty functional for the fact that it's a free app on a mobile phone. You know, it hasn't got all the bells and whistles, and it wouldn't be my first choice to use because I know how to do video editing on the computer and I have software I use to do that. But in a pinch, it would do a great job. And for someone just getting started in video, if you're out on the beat out there recording video clips, maybe doing walkthroughs of homes or interviewing customers or, you know, profiling the local neighborhood, that kind of stuff. Most cases, they're little short 30 and 60-second videos. You might want to put a few little files together and join them up and just put you can put some branding over it. So for that, it's great. You know, you don't have to muck around with it, and it just does a pretty good job. I'm really pleasantly surprised at it. And did I mention it's free? The other thing is it is available for Android and iOS. It does work on Apple tablets, I believe. So I believe it's quite good on the iPad. Apparently it doesn't work on, well, not apparently, I know it doesn't work on Android tablets because I tried to install it last night on my Samsung tablet and it basically refused to let me. It said it wasn't compatible. I would assume at some stage Adobe will get off their butt and change that and bring it across. But the nice thing about this is it's available across all platforms, so it's reasonably consistent. I don't know if the Apple version looks exactly the same. There may be some slight differences in the look and feel, but if you use it on an Android, you could probably quite easily translate to a transition to an Apple phone and do it as well. So I don't see any major dramas there as far as that goes. So we're nearly finished, down to the last few percent, and the video's been saved. So happy with that. Okay, so let's now have a look at the actual video clip that we just recorded. We'll go into the gallery on my phone, and I think this is it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, okay. I'll try picking the phone up and rotating it, see if it goes, yeah, there we go, full widescreen. I'm assuming you can hear me talk. I can't because I've got the microphone plugged into the headphone jack at the moment. I'm looking horrifyingly unshaven today. Apologies for that. It was a Sunday. I hadn't shaved. So, oh, and there you go. Done. So, all things considering, I think it's a pretty good product. Definitely encourage you to have a play with it, download it, and see what you think of it. Okay, well, that's it from me.